Hi everybody, this is Michelle, the Crazy Homemaker, and I'm going to go over a few things that I noticed that I said which might confuse you in my chakra video, and it'll give you a little insight as to what I say and why I say it. Whenever I invoke a blessing, I will ask God our Father and Creator of all to work on the blessing. I say God our Father and Creator of all because if you just say God, this is my opinion, if you just say God, there's a bunch of other gods out there which are like the old Roman gods of mythology and other gods which other people create or invoke or whatever. And a lot of them are not in our best interest. But God our Father, who created us, and Creator of all, only God, the Creator, can create. The other gods cannot. That's why I say God our Father and Creator of all. I don't want to be and have any mistake as to who I'm asking for my help, or where this energy may be coming from, because it could happen that something else will slip in if you're not pretty specific on this point. That's my opinion. You might have another opinion, but that's okay. Another thing that I say is whenever I ask for something to be done throughout all lifetimes, all dimensions, all physical and energetic layers, all spaces and places, known and unknown, from now into the future, for forever, I ask for this to be done through all lifetimes, which all of our lifetimes are running at the same time. And I want anything which may be coming from a previous life or a future life or a parallel life to be worked on at the same time. So that's why I ask for all lifetimes, all dimensions. I believe our body parts can leave us in bits and pieces and travel to other dimensions and either get stuck there, lost there, or may not just be able to find their way back. So that's why I want this work to be done throughout all dimensions, physical and energetic layers. Whatever lifetime that we're in, I want the physical and I want the energetic part of us to be worked on as well. Spaces and places, known and unknown. It took me a while to figure this one out. It was really interesting for me once my brain just started snapping when I was driving home from work one day. There are spaces out there and places that people do not consider at all. Say between the cells, there will be space between the cells. Something can hide in there. Any place that something can go. It's hard to describe this one. The place and the spaces and places, known and unknown, can really be pretty much the same, but maybe there's a place in a different universe. Maybe there's even a different lifetime other than past, present, parallel, and future. So I want the known parts and the unknown parts to be worked on as well. I'm just covering a little bit of a layer that doesn't make any sense unless you sit one day and just think about it. And I add from now into the future for forever. Well, if all the timelines are running all at the same time, then all you need to do is ask for the blessing from now into the future for forever, because all the timelines, past, present, parallel, and future, will be taken care of from now until the future for forever. So that's that beginning portion of my request. I also ask God or an appropriate helper, angel, archangel, whoever, to gather and bind. That means for them to take everything that is causing the issue, put it in one place, encapsulate it somehow, bind it in one place, and then they could just take that whole lump of stuff and shove it to its appropriate place in the universe. If it's got a human energy or had a human energy or a living energy of some sort, I will say to send it to its appropriate place for processing. If it is like a mechanical, a crystal, a tag, a weapon or something, I will ask for those to be gathered and bound and taken to the lake of fire to be destroyed for forever. That's why I say gather and bind. Well, also to doing dowsing work in this kind of realm where you can get no feedback unless you watch the person or place or the animal that you're working on and see if there's an improvement or a change of some sort. It might not be an improvement, it might be a change, which could lead to an improvement. It might be a fallback, and then going forward, everything gets better. Sometimes that happens, sometimes when you're sick, you get sicker before you get better. But these things, you can't prove it because we're working with really oddball stuff. That's what I call it. It kind of makes me interested and happy as to how much my brain can kind of, come up with these things. And they're so odd and they're so crazy and they're so far out that if I would discuss this stuff with anybody other than myself or with you, then there would be a lot of issue on whether or not I'm a crackpot or not. Yeah. It's fun to think yourself as a crackpot, but really, it's not good if somebody else wants to commit you someplace. And I also wanted to mention too, when I was using my storyboard, you saw how I went, when I get stuck, I would whittle my way down into getting confirmations as to what this thing could be, which doesn't make sense until you go pretty far, take about 3 or 4 stabs at the storyboard and get your answers and work with it. That's all I can say. If you don't work with it, you don't know. And like I said just a little bit ago, you can't prove any of this stuff unless you can see a physical improvement in a person, place, or thing that you're working with. That's why I like to work on myself, because weird things like this, I will try it on myself first, because I don't want to subject anybody else to a pain or an issue that might not go away. So if I can work on myself with it and it shows an improvement, then I'll venture to work on somebody else or a place or a animal, and knowing that it would be a safe thing to ask for them. So I just wanted to go over a few of these things that I saw in my last video, my Chakras Part 1. And I wanted you to understand why I'm saying these things. And if you can use them, that's great. If you don't believe in them, or if you don't want to use them, that's fine. You can make something else up that makes more sense to you. Like I said, dowsing, it is a wonderful thing to do. It is all how you perceive the world around you, what you feel that you can work successfully with, and just enjoy the process. If you don't work with it, no matter how crazy it is, then you're never going to know if that is something that is valid, that could be removed from others. And like I said in a previous video, my last storyboard one, that I found an energy of Pluto in my husband's hand. And that was weird to me. And it was kind of weird to tell him that. But that was the main thing that I worked with, and he saw a relief from the pain in his hand, and his hand has been hurting for years. So you just don't know. Give it a try, enjoy yourself, and have a good day, and happy dowsing. More to come.